Lesson 7, SIAM Roadmap, Part 3, Implement. Welcome to Lesson 7. In this lesson, we'll look at the third SIAM Roadmap stage, Implement. We'll study objectives, trigger, inputs, activities, outputs. The objective of the Implement stage is to use the outputs from Plan and Build to transform the organization, implementing the new SIAM model. Implement includes changes to the customer organization, establishing the new service integrator, and can include adding, removing, or changing contracts with existing service providers. There will be changes to services, processes, roles, and technology, so careful management of this stage based on the work done in Plan and Build is vital for a successful transformation. Implement begins when Plan and Build activities are complete, but in the real world, there can be other external events that trigger the stage. These could include the end of an existing service provider's contract, an existing service provider ceasing to trade or exiting its contract with a customer organization, organizational structure changes due to a reorganization or a takeover. If external factors force the Implement stage to begin early, the customer organization needs to complete as many of the discovery and strategy and Plan and Build activities as possible. If activities are incomplete when Implement begins, the risk associated with this must be assessed and acknowledged by the customer organization. The inputs to the Implement stage are all the outputs from discovery and strategy and Plan and Build. These inputs support the activities that take place in this stage, which are selecting the implementation approach, transition to the approved SIAM model, ongoing organizational change management, introducing service providers. We're going to look at these in more detail now. The first activity is to select the implementation approach. The two possible approaches are a phased approach or a Big Bang approach. A phased approach to implementation introduces SIAM in smaller iterations. This could be, for example, one service at a time, one service provider at a time, one practice at a time, one process at a time. A Big Bang approach to implementation introduces everything at once: service integrator, service providers, contracts, and new ways of working. Let's think about Big Bang versus phased implementation with an exercise. Plan to spend 15 minutes on this exercise, and don't forget to review our suggested solution. Imagine that you are back at Ceylon Ordnance in your role as an external advisor. They have planned a Big Bang approach to their SIAM implementation, but now they are not sure if this is the most appropriate approach for them. Explain some of the advantages and disadvantages of phased and Big Bang approaches to SIAM, and then make your recommendation. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer here. You just need to build a strong case. The next activity is to use the selected approach to transition to the approved SIAM model. It is normal to provide a team of dedicated resources to support this activity. This is a complex task and requires careful management. The more service providers and services involved, the more complex this activity will be. On screen, you can see all the areas that need to be addressed as part of the transition to the approved SIAM model. The exact activities that need to be carried out will depend on the SIAM model and the decisions that have been made in earlier roadmap stages. For Ceylon Ordnance, for example, the impact on NetCorp and the associated activities could be exiting the contract with NetCorp because they are not part of the new SIAM model and transitioning the service to a new provider, or integrating NetCorp into the new SIAM model and updating the existing contract and relationship accordingly. Organizational change management began during the Plan and Build stage and continues in Implement. If staff in any of the SIAM layers aren't fully informed about the SIAM model and associated changes, the SIAM implementation could fail. Organizational change management will include training staff, carrying out awareness campaigns, and regular communication, and checking to make sure that communication is effective. Introduction of the selected service providers will also take place during the implement stage. For the SIAM model to be effective, all service providers need to be clear on their role, scope, and responsibility, and their relationships and interfaces with the service integrator and other service providers. This activity will also take care of any practicalities like integration into a shared toolset, access to shared knowledge libraries, and so on. The output from the implement stage is the new SIAM model, in place and working, supported by appropriate contracts and agreements. This doesn't, however, mean the roadmap is complete. The SIAM model will still be seen as new by the organization and won't yet have become the business-as-usual way of working for the organization. During the next roadmap stage, Run and Improve, the model will become business as usual and will be adjusted as necessary to meet changing organizational requirements. Click on the Next button to access your end-of-lesson quiz when you're ready. When you finish the quiz, click the Next button again to move on. You've completed Lesson 7, where we've studied the implement stage of the roadmap, including objectives, trigger, inputs, activities, outputs. We'll complete our roadmap studies in the next lesson when we look at the Run and Improve stage.